Be careful who you invite home for dinner. Sleeping with strangers can be dangerous.
Yeah, this is case number 476 on the calendar in the matter of Ringgold versus Carrigan.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Mr. Ringgold, it is your claim that the defendant stole some checks from your home.
That's correct.
Forged them, cashed them. When you found out that these checks were being forged and cashed, you confronted her, either by phone or in person, and she filed a restraining order against you.
Yes.
So your cause of action is twofold. A, you want the money back, and you're suing her for having you falsely charged for domestic violence or family offense or a restraining order, because that is now a blemish on your record, despite the fact that it was dismissed because she didn't show up. It's still making your life a little difficult. You can't get certain licenses that you want. So you want her to compensate you for that.
That and the ruining of an 800 credit score that I had before all this happened.
Okay. How do you know her?
She is a friend of mine's old girlfriend. And that friend of mine, Matt, also had money showing up missing that he didn't know how it showed up missing.
Well, I don't know either, but so it's really not relevant. If he doesn't know, I certainly don't know, and you don't know.
I know how my money got going.
Well, so tell me about it.
Okay. Just to give you a little bit about my credibility in life, I put myself...
I'm not interested.
You're not interested, okay.
No.
Judge Judy, she was the only person...
Listen to me. I want you to start, like, once upon a time. On such and such a date...
On November 5th,
we're getting there. November
Robin
5th.
Kerrigan and I were talking about my club, what I do for a living.
Where was this?
This was at the Lone Star Restaurant in Lakewood, Colorado.
Okay, so you were there with her or with other people?
I was there with another friend of mine, and she came up and started talking to us. This other friend of mine who I went to dinner with, celebrating the fact that my club just got huge sponsorship that day, and everything. I was talking. She was acting like she's all excited about my club and everything.
What kind of club is it, Mr.
It's a
Ringgold?
dual sport fishing club. I take people motorcycle riding and fishing all over the world, Your Honor.
Okay. So she was excited about it.
So she was excited about my club, and I'm talking to her. And then one thing led to another. She ended up giving me a ride home because I needed a ride home because the next day I had a sales meeting. And
So
when
she
she
drove
came
you
home
home.
with me, she drove me home, and she acted all interested in my club. And then she said she wanted to go hunting with me the next day. And I said, okay. I said, well, it's kind of unusual for a female to want to go elk hunting. A lot of females don't like to elk hunt, you know? I mean, sometimes it's a brutal thing when you're watching an animal get gutted and, you know. Okay, but the next morning I went running. I had to run into a sales meeting. What's that?
Mr. Ringgold.
What?
I want you to stand there 1 second and take several deep breaths.
Okay.
Listen to me. Follow me.
I hear you, Judge. And
No, because you're making me nervous, so I'm not following your story, because you're getting ahead of yourself and you're stepping all over your tongue. You went from the night where she was talking about the hunting...
She was talking about my...
I suggested you take that breath. I suggested you take the breath. Shh. Where that night she drove you home, you're talking about the club. All of a sudden, you jumped, Mr. Ringgold, to the next morning.
Yes, she stayed the night.
Well, just a second, because you're so excited, sir, that you're not making this a cogent story for me.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes.
I have to be organized. Officer Byrd will tell you I'm a very organized person. And calm.
Absolutely.
So she stayed the night. Why did she stay the night, Mr. Ringgold?
Because she said she wanted to go hunting with me the next day.
So where did she sleep?
In my bed.
And where did you sleep?
In my bed.
Where did you sleep, Miss Carrigan?
I
is not an answer. Is not a place. Where did you sleep?
I fell asleep in his bed.
Okay.
And then I ended up moving up to the couch.
After you spent the night together, you got up and left the next morning?
Yes.
Where did you go?
I went to a sales meeting, and it was going to last for about an hour and a half.
What time?
At about 7 in the morning, I left.
And when you left, where was Miss Carrigan?
In my bed.
Go ahead.
And when I went to the sales meeting, got done, about an hour and a half later, I got home, and she was gone. And with a little note saying, call me.
And when did you call her?
I called her right away.
Was she at home?
I did get a hold of her the first time I called. I said, "Are you still ready to go hunting?" I said, "I'm taking off here in a little bit."
And she said?
And she said, "Yeah, well, give me a little bit. I got to do something for my mom. Well, hey, call me about noon." So I got everything ready to take off to go hunting, called her at noon.
I mean, I'm not a hunter myself. But don't you usually go hunting in the morning?
I was leaving for the weekend to go hunting. She wanted to go all weekend with me.
So it didn't make any difference what time you left.
No.
Is that right?
Well, the earlier the better. I wanted to leave right when I got back, but if she wanted to go, I was going to take her, and I tried to call her back at noon to get going because I needed to get going, and I never heard from her since. 1 week later, my checks show up forged in Commerce City. Here's all the forging. There are some checks that are on there that have my signature, and the ones that don't have my signature, it shows some of the ones that are returned. It shows the very first one was cashed on 11/6. Here's a letter from my bank, if you would like it, stating what happened.
Who was arrested, sir, when they tried to...
The police wouldn't tell me.
This says that the last check he wrote was check number 2906.
Yes.
And the forged check was number 3000, which was presented in Commerce City where the criminals were arrested.
Yes.
So who was arrested? Was she arrested?
What?
Were you arrested?
No.
The police wouldn't do anything about it. What happened here was she stole my checkbook and she sold it to somebody.
That's possible, sir.
Yes, she was the only one in my house that could have done it.
That's very possible.
And when I never heard from her again, I knew why.
Miss Carrigan, how old are you?
21.
How many arrests have you had?
0.
What do you do for a living?
I'm an administrative assistant at a doctor's office.
Now tell me what happened when Mr. Ringgold called you about these checks.
He never called me regarding the checks. He had called me about going up to his condo. I didn't know anything about hunting, but going up to his condo. And I never returned his calls just because I realized I didn't want to see him. I just wanted to be his friend, and there was more going on.
You just want to be his friend, what'd you stay in his house for and stay in his bedroom for?
I had a little bit too much to drink.
Mm-hmm. Did you take his checks?
No, ma'am.
Did you forge his checks?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Ringgold, I want you to listen to me very carefully, sir. You want me, based upon what you've testified to today, to find that she is not only a thief, but a thief and a forger.
Actually,
Do you understand?
yes.
Do you understand
yes.
that, sir?
Yes.
I can't do that. Because it is clear from this letter that you presented as evidence that somebody was apprehended.
Yes,
I'm
Judge, she stole my frickin' check.
I'm speaking.
She stole my frickin' checks.
Are you speaking?
I know you're speaking, and now listen to me. When I say she stole my checks, she stole my checks.
Hey.
First, have him take his hands out of his pockets.
You want to finish this outside somewhere? Or you want to do this in here?
I don't know.
Bird, I'm going to take care of this very, very easily. Mr. Ringgold, this is a court, and in court, all I can do is rule on the evidence. I don't have any evidence other than the fact that she had an opportunity to take your checks, that she did, in fact, take your checks. The signatures on these checks do not match in any way the signature on her deposition.
I never said she forged them. I
I'm
said she stole
speaking.
them.
I'm speaking. Now, it's very possible. It's possible, but we don't deal in possibilities in a court. What we deal in a court is actuality. So that's the first part of your claim, which you haven't been able to sustain to my satisfaction. The second part of your claim is that the defendant falsely charged you with harassment and with threatening behavior over the phone. I can only tell from your conduct today, Mr. Ringgold, that you have a substantial amount of difficulty maintaining your temper. And to me, it is clear as a bell that when you ascertained that someone had been forging your checks and you decided in your own mind that it was the defendant, that the language that you used when you called her, because that's what she's complaining about, is that right?
Correct.
If you couldn't control yourself any better than you controlled yourself here in the courtroom, then when you called her on the phone because you were furious that someone you thought was her was responsible for your bank account being all bollocksed up, then she had an absolute right and responsibility to protect herself by getting a restraining order against you. So I don't believe that she filed that restraining order falsely. Your case is dismissed. Step out.
Step over here. Step out that way, man.
Sir. My checks were in a drawer inside my house. My house was never broken into, and it was never, nobody was there except for her.
I never pursued a relationship with him. I only wanted was a friendship.
She sold them to a crack dealer, and a crack dealer distributed those throughout whoever the he's dealing with.
It's ridiculous, kind of funny.
I'm not gonna do anything to her. You know, I grew up learning not to hit females.
Just glad it's over with.